You won't believe how a small accident completely changed LL Cool J's life. It all started in 2004 when his wife, Simone Smith, had a simple mishap. She accidentally bumped her leg on a wastebasket. At first, it seemed like nothing serious, just a bruise, maybe some swelling. But let me tell you, that tiny bump was the beginning of something no one could have expected. Over time, the pain in her leg didn't go away. Instead, it got worse. Concerned, Simone decided to visit the doctor, thinking it might be something minor. But here's where it gets interesting. The doctors discovered something shocking. That bump had revealed a hidden danger inside her body. Simone was diagnosed with chondrosarcoma, a rare and aggressive form of bone cancer. For LL Cool J and Simone, this news was beyond devastating. One moment they were living a normal life, and the next they were facing one of the most difficult battles anyone could imagine. Simone's world turned upside down. The cancer wasn't something that could be ignored or treated lightly. It needed immediate and serious attention. But here's the craziest part. The only way to save her leg and possibly her life was through an intense, high-risk surgery. Doctors explained that they would need to remove her entire right tibia and replace it with bone from her left fibula. It was a grueling plan, but it was the only hope they had. In 2007, after years of managing the pain and preparing for what lay ahead, Simone went into surgery. It lasted a staggering 15 hours. Imagine lying on an operating table for that long, your entire future hanging in the balance. Doctors removed the cancerous bone and replaced it using a complex system of rods and screws. But here's the shocking part. After the surgery, Simone had to completely relearn how to walk. Something so simple, something we all take for granted, was stripped away from her. It took more than 2 years of painful rehabilitation, filled with moments of frustration and heartbreak. But throughout this grueling process, LL Cool J never left her side. He was there for every doctor's appointment, every therapy session, and every painful step. And this is where it gets interesting. LL Cool J was so committed to helping Simone that he even offered to donate part of his own bone to help save her. Think about that level of love and dedication. Not many people would go that far, but for LL, there was no question. His wife's life mattered more than anything else. During this time, Simone wasn't just fighting cancer. She was fighting to keep her family whole, to be there for her children, and to hold on to the life she had built with LL. And despite the pain, despite the fear, she pushed forward. Her strength was unimaginable, and LL Cool J drew inspiration from her every single day. This wasn't just her battle. It was their battle. And destiny took an unexpected turn when, after years of struggle, Simone finally began to see progress. But here's the shocking part. Simone's battle wasn't just against cancer, it was also against the fear that crept into every corner of their lives. Even after the grueling 15-hour surgery and years of painful rehab, there were moments when it felt like the fight would never end. Each doctor's visit was filled with anxiety, wondering if the cancer had returned. Simone had to push through endless hours of physical therapy just to take a single step. Imagine having to relearn something you've done your entire life, walking, while constantly questioning if it was all going to be enough. Through it all, LL Cool J became her biggest support. He wasn't just her husband, he was her cheerleader, her protector, and her strength. But here's where it gets interesting. This struggle began to mirror his own past battles in the music industry. Back in 1990, LL was at a low point in his career. Critics were tearing him apart, calling him outdated and irrelevant. Doubt started creeping in, but that's when his grandmother told him something powerful. Baby, knock them out. Inspired by her words, he created Mama Said Knock You Out, an anthem of resilience and defiance. The craziest part? That song, born from personal struggle, became the soundtrack of Simone's fight against cancer. LL would play it during her toughest therapy sessions, turning it into a personal war cry. Every beat, every lyric echoed their determination not to let cancer win. The song wasn't just about music anymore. It became a symbol of survival. But destiny took another unexpected turn. After years of fighting, Simone was finally declared cancer-free. It was a moment of pure relief and joy. But the battle had changed them forever. They knew there were millions of others still fighting their own cancer battles, many without the support or resources Simone had. And that's when they decided to turn their personal pain into a powerful purpose. Fast forward to February 9th, 2025, Super Bowl 59. This is where it gets really interesting. During one of the most watched events in the world, Pfizer aired a groundbreaking commercial titled Knockout. The ad featured LL Cool J's iconic hit, Mama Said Knock You Out, but in a completely new light. It showed a young cancer patient transitioning from a hospital bed to finally stepping outside, smiling, free, and healthy. The tagline hit hard. Hey, cancer, we're going to knock you out. But here's the shocking part. This wasn't just a random commercial. It was deeply personal. It was LL Cool J and Simone's story told in a way that millions could connect to. The pain, the fight, the triumph, all wrapped into a single powerful message. It wasn't just about promoting cancer awareness. It was a battle cry for everyone who had ever faced the disease. But here's where it gets even more powerful. The Pfizer ad wasn't just a tribute to Simone's battle. It sparked something much bigger, something no one expected. After the Super Bowl commercial aired, millions of viewers felt the impact. Social media exploded with people sharing their own cancer stories, using the hashtag #KnockoutCancer. Survivors, patients, and families all connected over a simple but powerful message: we can fight this together. But let me tell you, this is where it gets interesting. This campaign wasn't just about awareness. Pfizer had a bigger plan. They teamed up with the American Cancer Society, ACS, to launch the Knockout Initiative, encouraging people to take proactive steps in the fight against cancer. One of the key parts of this campaign was the Cancer Risk 360-degree assessment. It was a free tool designed to help people understand their personal cancer risks based on family history, lifestyle, and health habits. But here's the craziest part. Simone and LL Cool J didn't just lend their names to the campaign. They became the faces of it. They shared their personal journey, the darkest moments, and the victories, urging people to take action before it was too late. Simone opened up about how she almost ignored that initial bump on her leg, thinking it was nothing. But if she hadn't gone to the doctor when she did, her story could have ended very differently. Destiny took another unexpected turn when the campaign statistics started rolling in. Thousands of people who took the Cancer Risk 360-degree assessment discovered early signs of potential cancer risks. Some even caught life-threatening conditions in their earliest, most treatable stages. Lives were being saved simply because people were now aware. It was a ripple effect of hope, all starting from one family's painful journey. But here's the shocking part. The statistics about cancer are still terrifying. An estimated 40% of Americans will face a cancer diagnosis in their lifetime. Even more alarming, Black Americans face the highest mortality rates and shortest survival times compared to other racial groups. LL Cool J and Simone knew these numbers too well, and that's what fueled their mission. It wasn't just about telling their story. It was about changing the narrative for millions of others. And just when you thought this story couldn't get any more powerful, Pfizer made a massive promise. They committed to delivering 8 cancer breakthroughs by 2030, focusing on the most aggressive and life-threatening cancers like breast, lung, prostate, bladder, and blood cancers. It was an ambitious goal, but it gave people something they desperately needed: hope. Through it all, LL Cool J and Simone continued to be pillars of strength. They attended cancer awareness events, spoke openly about their journey, and reminded people of one simple truth: early detection saves lives. Their story wasn't just about surviving cancer, it was about turning pain into purpose, about standing in the ring and refusing to back down. But here's where the story takes its most unexpected turn. Because even after everything LL Cool J and Simone had been through, life had one more surprise waiting for them. After years of fighting, healing, and turning their pain into purpose, they found themselves facing a moment they never saw coming. It happened during a cancer awareness event they were attending as ambassadors for the American Cancer Society. Simone had just finished sharing her emotional journey, telling the crowd how she went from fighting for her life to becoming cancer-free. But then, as the applause faded, a young girl from the audience raised her hand. She walked up to the stage, holding a small piece of paper, her voice trembling as she spoke. "You probably don't know me," she began, "but your story saved my mom's life." The room went silent. Simone and LL Cool J were stunned. The girl explained that after watching the Knockout Super Bowl ad, her mother, who had been ignoring persistent back pain, decided to take the cancer risk 360-degree assessment. That simple decision led to a doctor's visit, which revealed early-stage cancer. Because it was caught so early, her mom was now in recovery and expected to make a full recovery. And here's the craziest part. This wasn't an isolated story. Simone and LL Cool J started receiving letters, emails, and social media messages from people all over the world, all saying the same thing: "Your story saved my life." Let me tell you, this was the moment everything came full circle. Simone had once been the patient fighting for her life, and now she was the reason others were surviving. LL Cool J, who had written "Mama Said Knock You Out" to fight critics in the music industry, had now turned that same message into a literal anthem for survival against cancer. The song had found a new, deeper purpose, empowering people to fight, not just for fame or respect, but for their lives. But here's the shocking part. The couple realized that their battle wasn't just about cancer, it was about resilience, about standing back up when life knocks you down, and about using your own pain to help others heal. LL Cool J once said, "Don't call it a comeback," but this was more than a comeback. This was a complete transformation. And the most beautiful twist, Simone, who had once been told she might never walk again, now walked proudly across stages, speaking to thousands, inspiring millions. Her limp was gone, her strength restored, and her message was clear: if I can knock out cancer, so can you. Pfizer's knockout campaign became more than an ad. It became a movement. People everywhere were stepping into the ring, taking control of their health, and refusing to back down. And leading that charge were LL Cool J and Simone Smith, a couple who had turned their darkest moments into a shining beacon of hope. So what makes this story different? It's not just about survival. It's about what happens after. It's about taking the hits life throws at you, standing back up and saying, "Hey, cancer, we're going to knock you out." Because sometimes the greatest victories come from the hardest fights. And in this fight, LL Cool J and Simone proved that love, resilience, and sheer determination can knock out even the toughest opponent.